Hello and welcome to another Demon 212 3DS review. Today I'm going to be taking a look at Heroes of Ruin, which if you've never played it before, it's an RPG and it's pretty much the flagship big deal RPG for the 3DS. When the DS first came out, there were a lot of people saying that they wanted RPGs for it, and it took a long time for the DS to actually get some decent ones. So there's a lot of RPG fans out there who are looking forward to this because this was going to be the big one, and if I'm honest, it succeeds in pretty much every single way. It's everything I hoped it would be and more. For the sake of spoilers, obviously, because it's an RPG, it's got a story in that, I've set up a new cart because my brother's got a copy of the game as well and he hasn't played it yet, and I've set it up with a character that I've just beat the first dungeon with. But at the start though, you choose obviously your profile and that, so I'm going to go in and choose the Architect profile that I've set up. There's 4 different characters overall. There's a Vindicator, which is like a warrior type thing, a Gunslinger, which is a faraway projectile expert, and I can't remember the name of the other guy because it's the only one I haven't played as yet. Something like a Slasher. He's a big, huge hulk of a man who goes around and absolutely destroys pretty much everything he touches from the write-up that he gets. Anyway, there's all sorts of things that you can do though before you go into the game. You can join someone else's game because the game is online and local, or you can play it single player. There are a few problems playing it single player. I'll mention that because I'm going to be playing single player. But you can view your alliance, which is people you've already met with, so it's easier to find them. You can go to account settings because you can link it to an online account, so your stats get tracked online on the official website and that. You can activate all sorts of things. When you actually first start the game, you get 5 options: enable street pass, enable spot pass, enable this, enable this, enable this. It's just like the enabling, it feels like it's never going to end, but it eventually does. You can then obviously choose voice chat for online. You don't need voice chat for local, you're going to be in the same room. And you can choose how far your camera's zoomed in or out, which it just depends on how you prefer to play it. I prefer it zoomed out because I don't like getting jumped, but because of my eyesight, I have to have it a bit zoomed in order to actually see what the hell's going on, because otherwise I'll not be able to make anything out. So it's a bit of a shame because the camera is one of the few things that I'm not too keen on because you don't get control over it. So as I say, by having to have it zoomed in for my own eyesight, I quite often get jumped by an enemy that I just don't know is there. But anyway, going into the game now, the loading is, it's a bit long for a handheld game. It's not stupidly long or anything, it's nothing too major it's going to worry about, but I mean, if you rewind it back to the start of that screen, that's probably what, 15-20 seconds just to load it up, which is a bit of an annoyance. Once you get into the game though, the bottom screen's got a hell of a lot of action on it. It's got your map, it's got your inventory, so you can view all the items you've got. It tells you how many types of weapons, how many shoulder pads, how many things like that. You can then obviously go into the items, and it's standard RPG affair. It comes up red on the thing it's going to reduce, green on the thing it's going to help, so you always want to be looking for something that only gives you green, for the obvious reason that it's always going to be better for you. However, most likely you're going to find items that it might give you more attack, but you'll have to sacrifice some life or things like that, which that's your life bar there. It's a little red bar. That's your magic power style bar, which is the blue one, and the yellow bar is your EXP. When it gets to there, you level up, and once you level up, you can go onto your skill tree. You can buy new equipment, sorry, not new equipment, new powers and that, but they've got level requirements. You can upgrade them, but they've got level requirements. You can go into your when I find which one it is, to be fair, you mightn't actually be able to access it without having leveled up, but you can go into a menu where it basically brings up might, valor, and what's the other one? It might be stamina. It's basically one of them affects how much damage you deal, one of them affects how much life you've got, and one of them affects how better, like how more well equipped you are to regenerate your magic and your health. I think it might be endurance actually. So you can then use points to upgrade them, and obviously means you can either use more fireballs or use more special gunslinger abilities or this, that and the other. But you've got a main like hub style area where you've got to go around first and get your missions. Basically, when you start, you're on a shipwrecked beach, and that's kind of your hub. You've got to go around, you've got to talk to people and get missions. You then go into the dungeon, and once you go into the dungeon, you get to fight a hell of a lot of enemies. But I am probably best off showing the first dungeon again, if I'm honest, and starting as that character that I've not played as yet, so I can mention a bit more about him. So, right then, my brother's going to hate me because this is going to be a quick cut, but basically the other thing that I was trying to remember, it's Vigour, Might and Soul, not Endurance. But when you go into the character select screen, you get a load of different choices, so you can choose the player colour, which, as you might notice there, is just a little bit of a sash on this guy. You can choose hair colour, you can choose hairstyle, you can choose skin colour, and the elf is the Vindicator, the character I like playing as. You can make a blue, because quite a lot of elves seem to be blue in a lot of RPGs. But once you've sorted everything out, you then choose a name for the character and all that. So for now, just simply calling him Review. And then you get you're presented with a cutscene, which I'll show a bit of the cutscene off while I'm talking. Obviously, I can't do the volume, as I've mentioned before, but by at least showing the cutscene, I can show the style that it is, because it's very comic book style. It does work quite well with the fact that it's very well artistically done. I suppose I should rearrange those words and say it's artistically done very well, because graphically the game is fantastic. It's actually a cut above a lot of RPGs that you see released on a lot of other systems. It's just obviously not going to be in HD on this. And obviously I can't mention the 3D, because as I've said in many a time, in many a video, I can't see in 3D because of my eyesight, so I have no idea if it helps, if it hinders, if it's any good, if it's, this, that and the other. But anyway, this is the cartoony style graphics that you get, the comic book style, and I do like it. I do like the story, I like the voice acting as well. But that's pretty much all I can do without letting you listen to it, which I've already said I can't, so let's cut into the Savage. One other thing I can say is you sometimes get cutscenes like this, so they're like in-game footage, so it's not always the comic book style, and you can actually skip the comic book style ones once the game's got to the point, I suppose, where it's loaded. But anyway, when you go around, when obviously you've started with your shipwreckness here, you have to find out who you have to talk to. So when you talk to this person here, yes, how can I help? Yes, leave it to me. He wants splints, so you have to go around and you have to basically look for splints of wood. So there's some driftwood there that he can make a splint with. Just trying to remember where it actually is. There's another piece over there, and I'm pretty sure I've missed one, but either way, you get him the 3 splints. He then gives you another mission to go and find someone in the catacombs. So you talk to this man over here who says that things have gone wrong, and he basically needs a big burly warrior or mage, alchemist or gunslinger, whatever, and you have to break through the barricade, which tends to be a strong attack, because each of your characters have regular attacks where you just button mash. They've then got a charge up attack, and then they've then got the special abilities, which I've already mentioned. So the Architect can throw blue lightning ball type things, the gunslinger can fire his guns really fast in a crisscross style, the sword guy, the one that I can't remember the name of right now, jumps up into the air and stabs his sword down, like slashes it, which is really cool. This guy, he's I don't actually know what that is. I suppose it's a hook on a rope. I do remember I've got very bad eyesight, as I say, but he throws something out to try and grab all of the enemies. That's pretty much all I can say. As well as your regular attacks and that, you've got the ability to block with R, and if you hold a direction and push R, you'll do a roll, or with the Vindicator, in fact, actually, I think the Vindicator is the name I couldn't remember. I think I've been messing up all this time. The Architect is who I play as, so my mistake and my apologies. The Architect is the one that I was trying to see a teleport, and it's quite a cool skill. The Vindicator is the one with the sword who does the lunging attack, which is again quite cool. The enemies are pretty much randomly generated, and if you go back to an area you've already been, you'll probably be in for another fight, so it's a good way to just level up. And the reason I'm mentioning that is because one of the challenges, like one of the cool things about the game, is you'll get daily and weekly challenges, which are these things here, so you've always got something to do. So this one here, Hunger, level up twice as the Vindicator in the Coral Tombs. Daily, Twin Trouble, kill 2 enemies simultaneously. Weekly, Massacre, find and kill 150 Web Crusher spiders. So they're going to be updated quite a lot and it means that you're always going to have things to do. The only thing is, though, they're one of the things that I don't really like about the game, because I don't think they're handled very well. It actually says in the manual that the challenges are open to everyone, but that's not true, because you've already seen us read out the one that says, as the Vindicator, level up twice in the Coral Tomb, which, if it was open to everyone, then surely they should have just done the challenge of level up twice in the Coral Tomb, no classes required. Maybe had they done it as one of the challenges might be kill 50 people with the spark lightning things that I've already mentioned as the architect, which, if so, it would then make you question, why couldn't it be kill 50 enemies with any of the character's skills? This is what I'm not too keen on so far, because they are actually important. You do earn points for them, and you can buy better kit for actually doing the challenges. So the fact that they're not always open to your class is going to be a little annoying in the long run. Hopefully it's something they'll get some feedback about, and hopefully it's something they'll be able to change and do exactly what I've said there, where they can quite simply open them up to everyone and, you know, make it a bit fairer. One of the really good things about the game, though, that I haven't got around to mentioning yet, is the fact that the dungeons are dynamic. They will change the layout, so when you replay the game as another character, it's not going to be the same old, same old. You won't have already seen it and done it. You'll have done the quests, you'll have collected the items, you'll have killed the enemies, but you won't know where to now go. There's all sorts of other things that you'll have to find. There's also, what I've just got there is a little, I suppose, fountain beamer light type thing, and that gives me super speed, which is pretty cool that they're hiding around the place. But it is just standard RPG fare, really. There's nothing much more I can really say about it, other than that as a single player game, it's a good game, but flawed, and this is what I said I was going to mention at the start. The fact that you'll go through a dungeon, you'll beat the big boss, you'll get the treasure chest, and all of a sudden you'll open the treasure chest, and there'll not be a single item for your class. It'll be for all the other classes. I understand the game is designed to be played 4-player. And better, at least 2-player obviously, and it is always going to be better with multiple people. It's why I'm glad my brother's actually bought a copy, and I'm hoping my other brother's going to buy a copy so we can all play it together. But it's a little annoying that it does say you'll be able to play the game in single player, and then you beat a huge dungeon, you get a huge chest, and none of the items are for your class. It's just a little annoying. It seems like they could have done better to make it a little bit more favourable in playing single player. Borderlands, the reason I'm mentioning Borderlands is the fact that this game is essentially a Borderlands style game. It's got co-op player, it's got tons of weapons. They basically said there were going to be over 80,000 unique items in the game, and that was just on an early press release. Things might have changed, and the items drop out the enemies and you have to find them. You go over them, you hold L to pick them up, or you hold, I think it's up on the D-pad to auto-equip them if you think they're going to be better than what you've currently got. But any item that you get that you can't use, you can just go straight into your equipment. You can go click down on all of them that you've collected. You can hit the Y button and sell them, and one of the great things about the selling system on the game is they're never truly sold, because you've got Street Pass and Spot Pass and all sorts of other things on the game, as I've mentioned. The Spot Pass is for the challenges and that, and you'll get messages about them. The Street Pass, though, whenever you sell items that aren't for your class, you'll still get gold for them, but you'll be able to give them to other people in Street Pass. So say you Street Pass with someone who plays as a Vindicator, you're a Savage, you've picked up some great Vindicator stuff, turns out he's picked up some great Savage stuff. You have both sold them and gained the gold, but then all of a sudden you'll get the opportunity to get them for your character. It's a great system the way it works, because it means you don't have to hold on to hundreds and hundreds of items for the chance to be able to trade them with people. You can just quite simply sell them and put it in Street Pass, and the game will do that for you. It does have a hell of a lot of things going for it. That if you're after a good lengthy RPG with a lot of replayability, a lot of co-op play, a lot of cool unique things to it that haven't really been done before, or they've been done but nowhere near as well, it's definitely worth picking up. It really is one of the best 3DS games I've played, and I would love to see a sequel, and it's already at an early stage where the fact that they've got so many challenges and so much that they can add to the game, a sequel might actually be 3 or 4 years off. Anyway, apologies for going off on a bit of a tangent there. What I was starting to say with Borderlands is, at least with that, they managed to do a good sense of always wanting to go to the next treasure chest when you're on your own, because other than the modifications for which were character and class specific. Everything else was for everyone. So I just don't think this does a very good job of wanting you to go to the next treasure chest when you're on your own. If you're in a party though, it'll be sorted. The only other thing I can mention though, other than yet again rave about the game, because in case you haven't guessed it already, I absolutely love this. It's a fantastic title. Is that you get checkpoints, and they've done that because it's a handheld game, because quite frankly if you didn't have checkpoints then I think it would be the type of game that would be impossible to actually play, because think of Final Fantasy titles where you've got stupidly long dungeons with no save points, and whenever I've had to play them on a handheld I've always got to the point where I think, how can they honestly do this on a handheld? So I'm glad it's got checkpoints all over the place. It doesn't particularly make the game easier, because the enemies you fight still kick the crap out of you. So I am glad they're there, and that's pretty much all I can say about it. So there we go then. That's been the review. I hope you found it helpful. I don't score the games because that's based purely on opinion, so instead I'll leave you to make your own mind up. So thanks for watching, and if you've got any questions about the game that I didn't answer in the vid or that hasn't been answered in the comments, then feel free to ask and I'll help if I can. Also, if you did find it helpful, don't forget to check out my channel because there's plenty more like this up there, and don't forget to subscribe because there'll be plenty more to come as well. So until next time, this has been Demon212, signing off.